Very welcome to this live Wednesday earnings live stream from maybe the richest Middle Eastern city, Dubai, at 11 p.m. here in Dubai. I want to know, of course, as every single day, guys, let me know where you come from, where you're watching from. It's super interesting that the whole world is switching on those live streams. And secondly, let me know your questions if you have any to today's episode, obviously in the comment section, because this is very important to know, to communicate with me, so we can also have a very back and forth conversation here. This is the purpose of this live stream. Today is a very interesting day. Now I'm just looking at those graphics. We are looking at earnings in Wonderland. As you know, the one or other might know, I got this I stole this from Alice in Wonderland, and but it's somehow as it feels, you know, it's somehow we are currently in a total wonderland where the Federal Reserve Bank is printing money as never before, and we have crazy party stocks, like for example Tesla that just crushed 600 levels, 500 levels, 700 levels, you know. And I think that, you know, Elon Musk is currently more like that when he see the Tesla stock right now. But whom we will go into, obviously we will look a little bit into the earnings of last night. So last night we were live with the Netflix earnings, obviously live the very first time. You know, I need to improve on that because it was quite interesting to see all the information directly and then react to this live. So we will get to that. We will get to the Chipotle earnings that came out last night. Chipotle is about 12 to 15% up, and we will talk about the Netflix earnings. Netflix is about 2.5% down, and we will talk about also obviously about the big earnings beat by Snapchat. So Snapchat, the one of the biggest social media killer out there, and I remember that I said, you know, when we're looking into the earnings, this is the very first indication how social media could do. So let's dive into it. We see here the Netflix earnings. I think this is the, you know, quickly just into some numbers. We reported 1.57 earnings per share. We reported 5.77. Both numbers were less than anticipated from Wall Street. This is very important to know. So you can see here the Wall Street was anticipating about 1.6 earnings per share and revenue of 5.76. But where Netflix totally surprised positively was the subscribers, the global paid net subscriber additions. So they got 15.77 more additions watching now Netflix on monthly basis. Now, is this much? Now the market anticipated 8.2. So as you can see, it's quite a big beat on the expectations of subscribers. But you know, there's a good thing about the earnings of Netflix and a bad thing. Let's talk about first the good thing. The good thing is that Netflix has content as nobody else out there in the streaming war, in the streaming game, all right? They have content until the very beginning of 2021. Everything is ready, everything is filmed, and just need to be edited and produced to the format to be launched on the Netflix platform. Now, why is this a big deal? Because all about streaming, it's content. Content is king. This is something that, people say cash is king, but in streaming wars, content is king. Who has the best content will win the war. And Netflix is really, really good. Chapeau that they invested so much and so intensively into content. And this is, I think, the very big positive part of Netflix. And I think in the future, the streaming services will produce content very much in advance, just to make sure that something like this cannot be happen anymore. And, I also believe that, new strategies should be looked into, like, for example, why Netflix don't take some influencers out there, for example, like the Wolf of Dubai, right? And make some shows with them, like they still producing content inside their house, inside their promises, and this content is booming on social media platforms. But I can imagine that people like Logan Paul or Casey Neistat or all these people out there that are making great content can make huge series on Netflix and co. So just an idea. So if someone from Netflix watching, I will let you know my bank account to transfer some money. But let's have a look into the other companies. Oh, the bad thing about Netflix, though, is that actually they said, they were very conservative. So they said, for example, that they are really thinking that this is just temporary. They think they are very blessed at the current situation. They think that, the subscribers will decrease over time. So it's just like a one-time pop. And as much as better the experience is for those that came on the platform, as better is the chance that they stay on the platform, right? And as you might know, who cancels and take on and off their Netflix membership, maybe just a few, but most of them just subscribe one and stay forever. And therefore, this is the big opportunity of the streaming market here. But let's have a look who else reported last night. I think there's a couple of companies that were quite interesting. Like, for example, Chipotle. Chipotle is like a burrito fast food chain, very popular in the US. And they brought their earnings out, beat on earnings per share, 3.08, 2.9. Revenue was as expected. So actually, maybe you should have thought that, this is very much hit by the overall situation, and they were, right? Like you see that the overall transactions fell 1.4% and so on, and the overall crisis is not yet visible in the first quarter that much. But what they did very well, and this is where Wall Street really benefit those companies who can make the switch. I think that actually these companies who really can show that they can adapt to the current situation. Like, for example, Nike sales also declined over time in this quarter, but the online sales went up. Same for the Chipotle. 84% of the online sales just went up and exploded, which is a sign that this company is really ready for the overall situation. So I think that, this is a very good booster for the overall situation. Companies that can show that they can make money in any type of situation and they are flexible, those are the winners of all of this. So I think, Chipotle did this, and 15% or 12% plus as of this recording right now. So let's dive into another winner chicken dinner. This is Snapchat. Snapchat just lost about 8 cents per share. They made a revenue of 462 million. Their global daily active users, DAU, 229. This is up about 20% from last year. This is very big. And the next one, ARPU. This is very important. This is the most important metrics for social medias out there. This means average revenue per user. So they just calculate how much revenue they make in total, and then obviously they divided it by users, so they see what is the average revenue per user. And this is very important to compare to other social networks. And as you can see, it is here. No, this is not the right graphic. This is the right graphic. Very much up from last year. So they actually get more profitable from a user. And that's why Snapchat is up today 30%, guys. 30% up. Just of today. Today is the overall the market is very friendly. That's why you maybe see the green light obviously in the studio in the background. And I believe that Snapchat really did a great job, great execution. I also prepared for you something that you should know is very important. I love to read the stories about those companies to understand, what is their vision, what is the overall situation where they want to be, and who is driving this vision and this mission, how the company structure is, what is their thinking, how they advance, how they came to the point where they currently are. And that's for I can just recommend very, very much. This book was only fun, entertainment, and also information about Snapchat. This made me almost invested into Snapchat, but at current levels was not so interesting for me. Maybe I reconsider now after those really, really great earnings. But the book is the following: How to Turn Down $1 billion. The Snapchat story by Billy Gallagher. So buy this book. This is really great to read. And this shows you the whole story about Snapchat. Very, very much entertaining. They started with a small office at the beach, at Venice Beach. I just saw in the chat that we have people from Los Angeles as well. So this is very entertaining to see those crazy. I actually was there and saw the house where they actually were founded. So very interesting when you saw these places or went to those places, right, where really history happened. But Snapchat is really interesting because it can give us a small indication on how the next big giants are going forward. Like, for example, Facebook. Like, Facebook did today an acquisition, 7% plus. Other companies like, for example, Twitter, right? Twitter will be also very interesting to see how they can develop their business in this timing. So, but it seems that at least Snapchat didn't made so bad numbers here, and that's for 30% up, guys. You see, if you're doing really well into those timings, better than expected than the market, then you see very big upsides right now on companies that are maybe, not that much on your radar as of this moment. So stay tuned on that. Next one, I want to talk with you. Not only yesterday evening we had this couple of earnings that was mentionable, but also as of this morning. So as you know, companies can decide if they go into numbers before the market opens and after the market opens. Netflix, Snapchat, Chipotle decided to make it after market yesterday evening, and we broadcasted it live. And we have seen this morning a couple of companies, three that I want to dive into. One is one of the first airline stock here, Delta Airlines. They estimate was minus 72 cents on the share. They actually did better than expected. 29.2 surprise positive revenue. They did 9.64 billion in this quarter, less 10% or 11% than expected. AT&T, one of the biggest and also one of the my favorite stocks in the US, because they a very good dividend payer. There is this Elliott management that is currently on, and I believe that, you know, it's a really interesting company, and if everything goes smooth afterwards, you know, I think this is a very good opportunity to buy AT&T, especially if you are a dividend stock hunter. This is a great stock. So if, as you can see, EPS X expected, perfect on the point, and revenue a little bit short of 3.6%. And the next one, and here you see the beauty now of Biogen, some bio and medicine stocks out there that did pretty much well. You can see 18% surprise positive on the EPS and also revenue at 3% more than expected. You know, they obviously benefit from the overall situation, medicaments, cures, whatever they are working on. You know, I'm not such a big fan because sorry, I just have to get a little bit of water here to stay hydrated.
6.5 hours later.
So, this was the earnings of this morning, which was quite interesting. You know, the next one is not that super interesting. Ericsson, maybe a little bit, but also here minus 7.2%. So not that one of my favorite stocks. So let's have a look what the chat says currently. I have seen some guys are doing. And let's see. So we have people from Canada here, Los Angeles. We have people, Kiyu Shutube from Seattle and Germany. Kiyu Shutube is one of our members. I don't know if you know, but I just launched a new program to be more exclusive, more value. If you want to be part of the Wolves, now I have the opportunity to be more of the exclusive part of our community. There is the Wolf Pack, other side. Wolf Pack, the real Wolf that will have only members live streams and also ultimate one-on-one kind of conversation with myself on your favorite social media. It's quite interesting. Just look on my videos in my channel, or on my channel page. There's a button with join, and if you click there, you see which memberships and you support obviously this channel. So we have a question here. If I talk already about Tesla. No, I didn't talk about Tesla yet, because I'm considering, there was a breaking news on Nikola. And I want to read about that, and maybe later on, maybe in half an hour, I'll make another live stream, because this is quite interesting. So I will make a dedicated Tesla live stream there. Let's have a look. Do you think that Snapchat really is a good sign for similar companies such as Twitter and Facebook? Now, this is a very good question. I believe that this is a first sign and just a quick, piece that we investors can investigate, right? So you need, if you are interested in the social media space, what you need to do right now, so you go deep dive in those numbers of Snapchat, okay? Not only you go and watch this where we have that here. So you don't just go into the main numbers, but go into the overall conference call, go into those numbers, shareholder letters, and read every single sentence. And if you are seeing things that you can apply to the overall situation on social medias, then maybe you will get an arbitrage of information, something that you will read and know, or maybe know, that Wall Street didn't think about that on the other big guys. And if this happens, mostly then you can really go into deep dive and maybe buy those companies and they will rise, because Wall Street sometimes need a little bit, they sometimes don't understand this newer companies as well. They have this big analysts teams, they go on that, but they sometimes don't have enough ideas or the competence to understand. This is what happened to my big Tesla trade, right? I saw that Tesla has something very, very unique. They have such an impressive management team. This is such a great and ambitious company and management and CEO that $178 per share is way too less, right? And look where we ended. We ended up to almost $1,000. So Wall Street can be very, very benefiting if you're reading between those lines, and if you put the effort in, look at it as like a side hustle, look into those things, and then you find the next big thing. Or just keep on watching, because sometimes I'm bringing those tips and tricks here and in my members section, obviously. So let's have a look into other questions here. So we have Alexei, hey Wolf, yeah, also from Germany. Then we have Dennis is asking, how much consideration do you give to the financial distress of Virgin Atlantic and Virgin Australia, to the downturn on Virgin Galactic space? Well, I just watched Shamat, who's the co-founder, I think he's the chairman. He's the chairman of the board of Virgin Galactic, and I believe that Shamas is one of the most intelligent people out there. I even made a post on the community section, I think. So I think this is very, very interesting to see that. I really, really believe that this is one of the future companies. Now think about that. He made a great example on CNBC just when he went on TV. He said that, what do you think if Virgin Galactic will have soon is obviously in a decade or so, but travel on a supersonic airplane? Okay, where you having a super luxurious seating and not in contact one-to-one between other people. They are already ahead to what people want to have in the future. So he believes that the future of traveling or luxury travel will be definitely in Virgin Galactic. I think Virgin Galactic will be a super interesting game, guys. I just believe in this point, maybe now it start to be more interesting, but before it was at $40-50. It raised up from 5 or something like that, something totally crazy. However, I think that Virgin Galactic is currently very, very much a little bit overvalued. Let's say it this way, right? So for me, I'm still waiting. I want to see people using this before investing into a dream as of now, or a concept, right? But I want to go with you guys quickly also into the market, just to see where we are at now. So if you're looking into the market, Netflix is down 2.56% over the day. Amazon did quite well, 2%. As you know, I'm quite invested into Amazon right now. Tesla did very, very well. I don't know if there's any big news on Tesla or just the usual madness. Oil went up today 20%. I'm making a dedicated oil trade or oil short trade tomorrow evening. If you want to join, this will be very, very interesting, because I'm very, very convinced about this. Tomorrow also a new Tesla vlog, so stay tuned to that. Dow Jones also up. Overall, the whole market is up more than 2%. A little bit uncertainty is going away with this. Oil is going up. Shopify again 8%. How much they did? I think they did quite a bit just this week. 24%, guys. 24% is huge. I love this company. I just made a vlog about that. If you are interested, went a little bit down, but we wanted to go into Virgin Galactic. Let's have a look. Virgin Galactic Holdings. What is very interesting about that as well, I just wanted to make it a little bit bigger for you guys. Let me see. Okay, it doesn't work. Zoom. There's no zoom possible. Okay, you have to live with that. Yeah, if we are looking into this 3 months chart, that you can see where we are coming from. Let's say 6 months chart. This is much better. So I think somewhere here was the deal where Shamas, with his already on the stock market listed company, joined and merged with Virgin Galactic, and this is a very smart move, guys. So IPOs are very, very expensive, right? So Shamas is doing this IPOs prior, and then he just look for deals and make a merger with this IPO company, and then suddenly from one day to another this company is on the stock market. So very, very smart, and it's obviously making a lot of money. Have a look. If this was here, it started at $7, went up to almost $40, so we made here 400%, guys. And as again, this is just a concept as of now, a proven concept obviously, but still they didn't fly any customers into space as of yet. And then you saw the overall very huge decline, 70% down. We are now somewhere at the 17 level. So if you believe that this company will be once in a time one of the biggest travel companies for space, and maybe the only one, then you can invest now, and maybe we go much bigger. I definitely, the market cap is just at 3.5 billion. Obviously this company will grow at one point of time, if they are successful, to 100 billion or more. So you have a chance here of 30 times your money. Invested $1,000 is then $30,000 if you are lucky. If you are not, then you lose $1,000. But this is the chance on the stock market. This is the beauty about it. Thank you very much for watching, and I see you maybe later. So don't forget, maybe I will do another live stream on Tesla, only on the news, brand news that just came in. So stay tuned.